everyone, my name is Kayla Toure, the National American Miss Teen, and welcome to my HBCU-ish Instagram live series highlighting African American pageant queens, trailblazers, and role models. Today I have a very special guest, Faith Porter. She is also known as the Miss District of Columbia, USA. I can't wait to talk to Faith, guys. We have a lot to talk about.
Hello, how are
Hi.
you? Hi.
I'm fine. How are you?
Ready to go.
Okay, take your time.
Mhm.
Okay, you're good? Wow. Okay, this is, oh man, this is pretty surreal, guys. So before I talk about Faith, this is
So
actually
excited.
crazy.
I am
Oh my
excited
goodness.
for you, especially being where you have come. For those who know Kayla and you were outstanding. I mean,
Thank you so much. And listen, babe, I saw you on that USA stage. You were amazing. Oh my, listen, we're gonna get all into this, talk about all of Faith's accomplishments, how she's a role model. Also, I want to comment and say that your hair is fantastic. Oh my goodness. Listen, guys, they say it is super hard to rock short hair. Well, guess what? Faith eliminated that because she can rock short hair, long hair, every single hairstyle. So your hair looks fantastic. So, okay, let's get started, guys. Let's talk about Faith Porter. Faith Porter is a theater manager, performer, makeup artist, and a pageant queen. She is a graduate from Pace University with a degree in arts and entertainment management. Faith previously worked in company management for Dear Evan Hansen on Broadway, as well as assisting in background casting for Star's Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, HBO's We Own the City, and Prime Video's The Marvelous Miss Maisel. Faith is a co-director at Create Her, a free course for high school students who are girls or non-binary and who are interested in playwriting and producing for theater. She is currently the Miss District of Columbia, USA, placing top 16 at the Miss USA competition. Welcome, Faith Porter. Wow, Faith. There are so many phenomenal things to talk about. I don't know where to start. I think we're going to first talk about Pace University, since I don't know if you know that, but I go to Pace. And
did I know?
Yes. Did you, wait,
New York.
did you go to the New York City campus or the Pleasantville campus?
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to New York campus as well. That is, yes.
Oh
My
my
major
gosh.
is
I mean,
FTVC
so
acting.
many FT. That is incredible. When I was
Really?
a group called Frequency, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, one of my friends are part
last
of that
weekend
group.
where they
Wow.
competed and got first place. So my sophomore year of college, I started that group with friends. Yeah. Yeah. 20.
Oh my goodness. That is so fantastic. Okay, so talk to us about your experience at Pace. You were in the arts and entertainment management major. Well, how was that, and why did you choose Pace out of all the
I grew
phenomenal
up
schools to go
as
to?
a performer. Did a lot of musical theater. I'm gonna go to school musical theater. I'm gonna be on Broadway performer. You know, that's what's. But
I think you're breaking up a little bit, Faith. I don't know if it's my connection. Can you guys comment down below and let me know if you guys can hear Faith, because she is breaking up just a little bit. It could be my connection, but I want to make sure that everyone is able to hear you and hear your amazing story.
Not, I can or switch on data.
It could be, maybe it's. Let me see if it's my Wi-Fi. I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi off. Okay, Faith, can you say just one sentence?
I was first
I don't know. I don't
It,
know if it's my Wi-Fi or not.
it's
You
on. I
said
can
your
try and
Wi-Fi
turn
is
it
on or is it off? Okay, try to turn it off. Let's see.
now.
Okay, say a
So
whole
Pace
sentence, Faith.
University. I, hmm,
It's going in and out.
let's see. Uh,
Okay.
can you hear
I
me now?
wonder if it's she's breaking up. Okay.
Yes, I am. I'm
Say
Faith
one more
Porter. I went
sentence
to
again.
Pace University. I'm so excited to be here. Maybe it was the way
Okay.
I was holding it.
It's good.
Let's
It's
see.
better.
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Can you hear me?
So I'll hold it with my hand. Okay,
Okay, we can hear you.
awesome.
Okay, it's better now.
Well, yeah, so my
So,
senior year of high school, I was elected to be my school's performing arts prefect. We didn't have typical student council, so I was basically planning the school concerts and our coffee houses. I planned a Black History Month performance that the school continued to do every year after. And at that point, I realized the impact that I could have not only as a performer, but as an arts manager, and from helping other people perform and creating opportunities. And so from that, that's when I found out about arts and entertainment management. I was already looking at PACE for musical theater. And then I decided, I was like, I really wanted to do a major that was in the business school so I could get a strong business background, but would also give me a good sense uh, of all entertainment, not just theater, but music, art, all of it together. And I loved it so much. When I was at Pace, I had about 10 internships. Yes. I did so many internships. And like I said, I started my group at Frequency. And that was probably the best thing about my college experience because I got to not only be a leader on campus, but I built such a great friend group and so many amazing people around me. And I also got to perform, which I love to do. And most importantly, I got to help other people perform. So I didn't care about getting all of the solos. I was the one behind the scenes running around, doing all of the marketing. I was the treasurer, group manager, president, doing it all. And I loved it. And that is what really solidified that I wanted to get into arts management. I still love performing. I am a performer. I have some music that's going to be dropping soon. Yeah, which I'm really excited about. But I love having the background of how the industry works. And it's helped me a lot in pageantry as well.
I absolutely love that. And one of my teachers at Pace, my acting teacher was actually telling me, she was like, us actors, yes, we are learning about acting and what it is to act, but we also need to learn about the financial side. You know, how to read your contract correctly, how to be able to have your finances in order. So I really love how you said that you were able to, I guess, learn about both sides and how that helped you in pageantry as well. Talking about the acapella
Yes,
group, I believe
I
they went
went
to
to
their
that competition
competition
and they
last
got first
week
place.
and they yes, so congratulations to them. Can you talk to us about what inspired you to
Well,
create that phenomenal club?
so my freshman year, I was in a different a cappella group at Pace called Toner Recall. And me and my friends, we decided we wanted a space on campus specifically for the students of color to have some place to perform, not only for students who weren't performing arts majors and for those who were performing arts majors, because I'm sure, as you know, the performing arts, there's politics to it all, of course. And as someone who wasn't a performing arts major, I was in the business school. I wanted an opportunity to perform because you can't be a part of the musicals and things like that if you're not a musical theater major. And specifically for students of color and of other backgrounds, for queer students, I really wanted to create a safe space where we could just create art and make friendships and come together. And that is exactly what we did. And also I saw not only were the students grow musically, but everyone found their own thing within the group that they could take ownership of and that they could take and use for their future. For example, one of our members who is a designer now. And she works in fashion. She does a lot of dressing for TV and film and theater. And she would always do drag on the weekends, and we loved her. She was like our group stylist. So when we would go to competitions, when we would go to performances, she was the one who would plan out what our outfits would be, what the color palettes would be. And because of that, that was what helped her really realize, oh, I kind of like getting into this. Maybe this is a different area that I want to pursue. I never thought I would be big in budgeting. I always thought I'm not the best at math. I hate it. But when I started out as the treasurer and as I was the one handling the budgets, I realized that it was something that I really enjoyed, something that I didn't think that I would enjoy, but I do enjoy. And that's what inspired me to get into company management. When I worked at Dear Evan Hansen on Broadway, company management, they're the ones who are looking over all of the budgets, the box office statements, sending out the contracts to the cast, the crew, all the talent behind the scenes. And it was working with frequency that really gave me that experience, and that what let me knew what I wanted to do. And it was a low stakes situation. So when you're in internships at big companies and you're working, you don't want to make mistakes, or of course everyone makes mistakes, but once you get there, you're like, okay, I got to hit the ground running. But when you're with a group of students and you're just creating and you're creating for fun, you can make mistakes. You can try new things. You can be innovative in a lot of different ways. So I was able to get a lot of experience from that I use for the future.
I love that. And the frequency group, the frequency a cappella group, it has become so amazing now. I mean, I believe they had auditions, so it's become that prestigious and elite that you have to audition to become a part of it. I've actually watched them sing a couple of times, so they are fantastic. And I'm so thankful that you were able to create that amazing club. Besides frequency a cappella, were you a part of any other clubs?
I was in the art club. It was called The Inn. And I was the graphic design manager for 1 year. So I made all of the flyers for them. And I also, I'm trying to think, what else did I do? I was so fully into frequency. I was like, oh my gosh. I also was in prayer club. So I did prayer club, frequency, and The Inn, the arts and entertainment management group. And that was enough to keep me occupied. Oh boy, was I busy. But I love
it. Awesome. That is fantastic. So since we talked a little about your leadership, since I believe that was an amazing leadership position that you had, and I definitely think, like you said, that helped you a lot with the title that you have now, let's get into pageantry. I mean, you are Miss District of Columbia. You did a phenomenal job at Miss USA, and I remember watching your page being like, go Faith, especially when it was up to time to get ready for Miss USA. And talk to us about your journey to the crown, especially getting that District of Columbia.
It's definitely a journey. In the past year and a half, I have competed in 5 pageants. So I still consider myself to be fairly new to pageantry. My first pageant was Miss DC USA 2019, where I placed top 12. I came back the next year. I competed for DC USA 2020, placed top 12 again. Then in 2021, I competed at Maryland USA, made top 10. 3 weeks after that, I competed for my first time competing in a non-USA competition was 2021. I competed for Miss Earth, the DMV pageant, Earth DMV pageant, and I won Miss DC Earth. And I got best evening gown, most photogenic, and best interview. And that is when I realized, I was like, okay, Faith, I think you can do this. I think you have a really good shot. And so 4 months after that, I competed at Miss Earth USA, and I got first runner-up, and I was Miss Earth USA Air, thank you, which was a great experience. And after Miss Earth USA, I told myself I was going to take a break. It was 2022. I was like, girl, you are pageant out. You have done so much. Let's take a break. Let's just decompress. And then I was talking to my sister, so I wasn't going to compete for DC USA. And she was like, Faith, but you have so much momentum. Why not compete? You know, why waste a year? Because I remember the first time I competed for DC USA, Deshauna Barber came to orientation and she gave a speech. I mean, and this was my first pageant event ever, right? It was my first orientation, anything. I didn't know what was going on. And Deshauna Barber was there. And then Kyra McCullough was there. And I was just looking around and I'm like, so overwhelmed. But Deshauna was talking and she talked about how it took her like 6 years to compete, to win her state title, and how her advice would be to never waste a year. She said, never waste a year, because your competitors they're not wasting. They're continually working and you want to continually grow. So I told myself, what the heck, why not? This was about a month before DC USA that I decided to compete. And I competed and I won. And I think a lot of it was because I was so much more relaxed, because I had already worked so hard and I had already done so much training prior to that for all of the competitions that I had competed in. So I made up a lot of ground when it came to training and becoming, a better competitor. And I was just calm. I hadn't been thinking about the pageant for months and months and months before, because sometimes when you do that, once you finally get on stage, once you finally get into the interview room, it all builds up and you can kind of freeze up. But I was just so free because I had decided, hey, I'm going to compete. If I win, if I don't, oh well, there's always next year. And we had that time. So I think it was the calmness and the self-assuredness that I had coming off of Miss Earth USA that really helped me coming into Miss DC USA. And for Miss USA, it was a whirlwind, since I was one of the, please let me know if you can still hear me. I'm going to set my phone down. Can you still hear me as I'm talking? Something
it's
about
breaking up just a little bit.
order that I have making it break up.
Yeah. If your arms do hurt with you holding it, just let me know. We could just take a little break, because I know it's like a little arm workout.
And so since I was one of the last states crowned for Miss USA, I really had to hit the ground running. 2 weeks after I was crowned, we went to Cancun. And then 3 months after that, I was at Miss USA. So it definitely was a crazy experience. I loved it so much. Oh my gosh. And now looking back on it, I can definitely see that I was burnt out after all of the competing that I did. I did not realize it at the time, but I definitely was. But luckily I had so many great people around me, such a great support system, that I was still able to really hit the ground running and do the best that I could.
Once again, you did a phenomenal job, and congratulations on getting that top 12.
Yes.
I mean, top 16? Top 16. Yes. Congratulations on that, because I know that is so difficultly hard. So many things that I want to highlight. Number one, you talked a lot about your perseverance and how the first time you competed for DC, you did not win. Second time you went, you did not win. Third time, you did not win. So thank you for talking about that, because I've been talking about this a lot in my live series, that I feel like people think because social media, a lot of times we highlight the greatest parts of our life or the times that we win, that we do not show, we do not have those times where we highlight the no's that we get, or the you're not ready yet. So I love that you highlighted that, and you talked about how you were so calm when you competed the year that you won. And I 101% agree, because I know for myself, the year that I won my New York Teen title, I felt so calm. It was like the other years, I was excited, but I felt very nervous at the same time. So I was not as calm as I was the year I won. So I wanted to talk about that as well, because I most definitely agree. And I feel like for me, my calmness helped me a lot when it came to going into interview and being on stage, and just being like, no matter what, it is what it is. So, since we talked a little bit about that, I wanted to talk about how you judged.
Hey, you helped me a lot. You did. USA, because that was the first pageant I judged before Miss USA. And seeing your interview in particular and a few other girls is when I realized, because I feel like I could hit a rut at that point in my interview prep, because I've always been a strong interviewer, but I can also be a speaker, right? And so sitting on the other side of the stage, I really saw how it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it, and it's the aura. Like, for example, the only time I've ever met you in person was at that, and when I judged, but I don't know you personally outside of that, but I can already tell, you're a kind person, and you are real, and you're, because that came off in the interview, and that inspired me to say, Faith, you don't have to worry about what you're saying in the interview. You know who you are. You just need to talk. And when you talk, the judges will be able to see that, and they'll be able to identify with that, because I was able to see that with you, truly. I mean, when you sat down and started talking, your aura just, it illuminated the room. And that was something that I really, really appreciated. And as soon as you left, I was like, that's the one. That's the one. That's the girl.
Thank you. I was so happy to have you as a judge. I was honestly starstruck because I looked up to you for
so much,
such a long time. And
yeah, you really have no idea, because I've said this before, and I will say it again. The girls make the title, does not make the girl. You know, and when it comes to being calm in an interview, I think partially what you probably, the realization that you came to, and the realization that I had before I went into the USA and Miss USA was, I know I'm that girl whether I win or lose. Win or lose, I'm that girl. You know? So that's why I can be so calm when I'm interviewing and when I'm talking, because I know what I have to offer, and I know what I have to offer the crown, because this crown is they're not real diamonds. It's not, I'm not actually the queen of District of Columbia. All it is saying is that we recognize that this is a person, this is a woman who has persevered and wants to give back into her community and has so much to offer. And I already know that about myself. So whether or not I win or lose, that's not going to change. And I say that to anybody who competes. There were so many amazing women who competed with me at Miss USA and at Miss DC USA, and any of them could have took the title. Any of them, because again, like I said, the title is not about the crown, it's about the women who wear it.
I most definitely agree with that statement. Even outside of pageantry, I always hear, it's not the clothes that makes the person, it's the person that wears the clothes. So thank you for highlighting that, because I feel like knowing that whether or not I win or lose, I know my purpose, I know my plan, I know that I am amazing no matter what. I think that helped me a lot, like you said. So thank you for highlighting that. Let's talk about your journey and also Black History Month. And then we're going to play a game, one of my many games that I play on this. So what does Black Girl Magic mean to you, and how have you been able to promote that in your everyday life?
Black Girl Magic is just Black girls existing. That simple. That simple. I'll give an example. When I competed at Miss Earth USA, we're going to talk about hair for a second, especially since I just cut my hair, and we're talking about Black Girl Magic, and especially in pageants, we have come so far with natural hair on stage, and just allowing Black girls to be free in themselves and not have to fit into a box, because for so long I felt like in pageantry I had to find a Black girl box to fit in, right? And I am someone, anyone who knows me, I always switch my hair up. Ever since I was in high school or middle school. One day I might be wearing braids. The next day my hair might be short like this. The next day I might have a 30-inch bust down all the way down, you know what I mean? Or I could have a big crochet hair, you know? And that's how I always expressed myself. But I felt like I couldn't really do that in pageantry because even as Black women in our culture, we love hair. We love hair extensions. But in pageantry, it can be very frowned upon or shunned upon actually talking about it. And so after Miss Earth USA, I wore this really, really long hair that I love so much, that went all the way down to my waist almost. And before Miss DC USA, I had told myself after Miss Earth USA, I told myself the next time I competed, I would wear my short hair just because it was also easier. You know, I don't want to have to worry. I don't want to have to worry about hair. But like I said, I decided to compete for DC USA pretty last minute. And by that point, I already had to submit my headshot and my ad page, and I didn't have any headshots or ad pages in my short hair. So I decided to go with the long hair. And then I won, which was great. And then I was thinking, I was like, should I do the short hair for Miss USA or should I do long hair for Miss USA? But by that point, Cancun was a week after I was crowned, and we took our headshots for Miss USA in Cancun. So I'd have to wear the hair to Cancun that I was going to wear to Miss USA. And I had just been crowned. And I was like, it's going to be a lot to switch my hair. And I would need to figure out what styling I would want to do with it. So I just decided to go with the long hair. And even after Miss USA, I had decided, I was like, okay, I'm done with it. I've fully decided I'm going to do whatever I want with my hair whenever I want. As much as I love the wigs, as much as I love long hair, I love diversity. And I really want to let other Black girls know in pageantry, you don't have to fit into a box. You don't have to, for so long, even before the pageant, right? I would say, oh, my hair is going to look like this for the pageant, so I can't post any pictures with hair that looks different because then people are going to know that I'm wearing fake hair and blah, 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 blah. And I finally came to a point where I don't care. I don't care what you think about me or my hair. And, you know, the response that I've gotten from so many other Black girls in pageantry, even just for me wearing my hair like this, with this crown, has been so amazing. And it has been so freeing. And I always say, I can wear this, but who knows, the long hair might come back tomorrow. You know, that's me. And like I said, Black Girl Magic is just allowing Black girls to exist in the world.
Thank you. I love that you were able to give us an insight on your journey and showing your beautiful short hair. And
yes,
I love your
because
hair like this.
thank you.
Your hair
and especially so much, I think in pageantry, everyone has their look, right? It's like, oh, her look. She's the curly hair girl. Mm-hmm. She's the red girl. She's the blonde. She's the girl with the bangs. She's the girl with the this. And I feel like you have to stick to that, right? Because it's your brand. It's your brand. But you're more than a brand, especially as Black women. Whatever, our brand is just us existing. And I think that message alone is powerful.
Yes, agreed. And talking about branding, like the girl with the red hair, the black hair, I definitely agree with that because for so long in pageantry, I had very long hair and big curls. And the year I won my New York tea title, that was actually the first time I wore a ponytail at a pageant. And I remember, thank you so much. I remember asking some of my friends, and they were like, you know, a ponytail might be a little bit risky. And I told my mom, I said, I'm gonna wear my hair how I wanna wear it. I'm gonna rock my hair how I want it. And if no one likes it, so be it, because I feel confident with my hair in a ponytail. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that because I feel like so many times people feel like we have to wear our hair a certain way or there's a winning hair look that you need to win. You can wear your hair however you want. There are girls that wear their hair in afros, wash and goes. I've even seen, I think Amani she was the Miss Washington USA. She wore braids at Miss USA. So like it's girls like me, you, Imani, and so many more that are really challenging those stereotypes and really breaking through those barriers to show girls that you can wear your hair however you want to and you can win wearing however you want your hair to look like. So I thank you for that, for challenging the stereotypes, because I know that it was probably so hard for you, like you said. So thank you for doing that. My next question for you before we start our first game is, can you talk to us about Black excellence and how you're also able to spread that message on an everyday basis?
Yeah, well, it's so special representing the District of Columbia as well.
I hear you.
Representing the
You are
District of Columbia
good.
is a special and unique experience because I feel like we continually set the standard for Black excellence and Black girl magic, as you were saying. I mean, even in pageantry, I never really had to worry much about how I would be perceived as a Black girl because I was always competing in DC with other Black girls, you know, and I got to learn and grow from them, which is so amazing. And not every pageant obviously has that, but I do think from that experience, I've definitely been able to see the hard work that gets put in, and yeah, it's such the pageant community for Black women is such a small, tight-knit community. There are so many girls who I thought lived in the DMV because I followed them for so long, and they're just other Black pageant girls, so we all know each other, right? And then I'm like, oh wow, you live in Washington? I had no idea. I thought you were right next to me because we're always chatting on Instagram. We're always online. So it's also just a really, really great community. And like I said, yeah, Black excellence is breaking barriers in your everyday. It's and we see it every day in pageantry and in our whole life. I work in theater, as you know, and so I worked for Dear Evan Hansen, which was on Broadway. It just closed a few months ago, but it had been on Broadway for 6 years and it had won like 6 Tonys. And over COVID, there was a lot of conversation about equity and inclusion in the theater and how theater can just be more equitable, not only for actors and performers on stage, but also behind the scenes. And I was able to work with our company managers, producers. Also, I'm a co-director at a youth arts program that's also in New York. That's for young girls, and a lot of the girls who are in our program are women of color and girls of color. And it starts by mentorship. Black excellence is really just passing on the baton, passing on the torch. And that was the main thing that I saw through all of the seminars that I did with Dear Evan Hansen and that I would do through Create Her, was all about mentoring young people in the community, young Black kids, because all you need is to see someone else succeed. You know, once you see someone else doing what you want to do, there's a light switch that turns, that makes you go, oh, I can do that. I had never considered pageantry until I saw Deshauna Barber win Miss USA. I was not in pageantry at all. It was not my thing. But my sister started competing, and I was like, oh, if she can do it, I can do it. And then right after she started competing, Deshauna won DC, and then and won Miss USA, and then Kyra won Miss USA. And I was like, oh, I can do this. You know, all it takes is that one person. And I strive to do that in everything that I do, and also encouraging other people to give back and be mentors.
I love that. And you are Miss District of Columbia, USA. And in my opinion, the District of Columbia, I call it the dynasty, is super rich. And like you said, there was Deshauna and there was Tara. So I know for some people that might feel overwhelming because there were 2 back-to-back Miss USAs that were from the District of Columbia. So how did that feel for you? Being crowned by, or having a legacy of so many phenomenal girls that had the ability to wear
It
that
was
dress.
amazing, and I definitely felt how big the shoes were that I needed to fill. You know, but that is why it was just so much more exciting for me, because I knew the possibilities and of all of the women who came before me. And it also really just showed that, again, I whatever happened at Miss USA, whether I placed or whether I didn't, I won Miss DC USA, which is huge because the women who compete and win in this state are phenomenal. So just making it to this point and just being in the same conversation of those women was enough for me.
That is fantastic. So we're going to start our first game, and I'm really excited to hear you. So this is my game that I created. So it's Guess That Quote. Very famous, very famous. So I'm going to tell you a quote, and I'm going to give you 3 options. One of those options are the answer. You guys can comment down below and help me, but in my opinion,
hopefully we'll see.
That's just me, though. You know, you went to Pace, so
yes,
we know
yes,
you have
we
the
do.
intelligence and the great. Okay, so let's get started. Don't gain the world and lose your soul. Wisdom is better than silver or gold. Was this said by Denzel Washington, Samuel F. Jackson, or Bob Marley? Comment down below if you guys have any guesses. This can help Faith out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Faith. That is correct.
Okay, great. Maybe I will get a 4 out of 4.
Awesome. Listen, guys, I'm telling you, it's the right. So you go to Pace, but I mean, she's also Miss DC USA. So okay. Next one. This is because you're an actress, so you know I had to add some actors in here. Okay. The number 1 rule of acting is do not seek approval from the audience. People don't realize that. You can't do stuff to get applause. You have to live in the truth. Was this said by Michael B. Jordan, Wesley Snipes, or Chadwick Boseman?
It's either between Wesley Snipes or Chadwick Boseman. I want to say Chadwick Boseman, but for some reason I feel like Wesley Snipes is a sneak. I feel like it might be. But I'm gonna stick to my gut. And I'm gonna go. With Wesley. No. With Chadwick Boseman. Yes!
That's correct. You were so close. I was like, I was trying to read your mind and tell you, you got it. Okay.
Thank you.
You're doing really good. I honestly.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay. I think you're gonna get a 4 out of 4. I think so. You will be the first person to ever get a 4 out of 4.
This is Black history right here, right?
Let's see. Yes. Okay. You're making history. Okay. Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I feel down and get back up again. Was this said by Martin Luther King, Oprah Winfrey, or Nelson Mandela?
And I feel like I've heard this quote before, but I could have heard it from any of them. They're all inspirational.
Inspirational. Yes.
Don't think it was MLK. Just because I feel like I would know it was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's Oprah. This sounds like a Mandela thing, but I think I'm in between Mandela and MLK. I have to imagine both of them saying it in their voices and seeing which one sounds. Right? You don't want to hear my impression, but I'm doing it in my head. Let's go with
Go with your gut, Faith. Go with your gut.
Let's go with Mandela. Okay, great.
That's correct. Oh my gosh. You have one more. You have one more.
I am
I'm
too.
really hoping you get a
Okay.
4 out of 4. You will be making HBCU-ish history. 4 to 4. Okay. You got this. You got this. It's more important for me to see the mess and the imperfection along with the beauty and all of that for me to feel validated. Was this said by Angela Bassett, Viola Davis, or Halle Berry?
Can you repeat it?
Sure. It's more important for me to see the mess and the imperfection along with the beauty and all of that. For me to feel validated.
I'm gonna go Viola Davis, Angela Bassett, or Halle Berry. I'm gonna go with Angela Bassett. Wait. No, I'm gonna go with Angela Bassett. Oh. Or Halle Berry. She's talking about. See, this is the most stressful one because this is coming from the title.
Mm-hmm. This is hard. This is hard.
I don't think it's Viola. I don't think it's Viola. It's either Angela or Halle Berry. Okay.
Comment down below. Okay. Are you ready? Have you made an answer? Have you chosen?
Very small.
A hint? Okay. Okay. I'm trying to think of a hint that would not give it away. This lady went to one of the top acting.
Oh, darn it.
Is that your final answer? Is that, I mean, you know, Angela Bassett did go to Yale for acting.
Yeah.
That's true. But Yale also has one of the top.
Okay. Now I don't know who. Fine. Okay, Angela, I'm sticking with my the moral of the story. This whole thing has been stick with your gut. And my
Angela Davis. Angela Davis. I said Angela Davis. I'm sorry. Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett is your last.
Yes.
Okay. It's a great answer. It's a fantastic answer. I love Angela Bassett. I love all of them. But the answer was Viola Davis. You were so close. I thought my hint would help you, and then you said Viola Davis. Okay.
It's all good.
Oh man, it's okay, Faith. You know what? You were close. You got a 3 out of 4. You did a fantastic job.
We got it.
Okay. So let's clap it up for Faith because she did amazing, and I don't know if I would have gotten a 4 out of 4 because these were really hard and bunch of quotes. So we are back to asking Faith questions, and we're going to talk about HBCUs. And I know Faith did not go to an HBCU, but she is Miss District
Parents
of Columbia,
went to
USA.
Howard.
And as
Howard. Yes. My mom and my dad went to Howard. Met at Howard. My sister went to Howard. She met her husband at Howard. So even though I didn't go to a HBCU, I'm definitely very familiar with life because that's what I grew up.
Mhm. Wow. So why didn't you go to
One, I
Howard?
didn't get in. Like, let's be clear, I did not get into Howard. Also, they didn't have, but they also didn't have my major that I wanted. They have, I believe, theater management, but it's in their theater school, and I really wanted something that was more broad, not just theater. That's why I liked arts and entertainment management, and my major is in the business school, which I really wanted. My major is basically business management with a concentration in arts and entertainment businesses versus I think Howard's theater management program was more arts focused, which is great, but I wanted something a bit more broad that I could use for other jobs and things. So, but also, what can I say? Pace was my number one, though. It
That
wasn't
is
number one.
okay. Pace was your number one. That is, that's okay. You know, I try to think in life, I try to think that what's meant for you is going to be for you. And it was meant for you to go to Pace, and you went to Pace, and
Exactly.
now you're a national title holder. Wait, no, now you're a
Yes.
title holder. You were a national title holder, though. Yes.
That's,
So, you know, everything happens for a reason. So, since since you technically have that Howard University HBCU blood running through your veins, talk to us about how it was growing up having family that went to such an illustrious HBCU.
it was great. They always they wanted. I'm the youngest of 5 kids, right? So I have 4 older siblings, and my oldest sister went to Howard, and my parents just needed one of us to go to Howard. They're like, somebody needs to go. And then once my sister went, they were happy that they had at least one person going to Howard. But it was really, really great because when I moved to New York for school, one thing that I realized, or even just as I traveled, that a lot of people weren't as familiar with seeing Black excellence like I was. I mean, I grew up right outside of DC in Prince George's County, Maryland, which is also a predominantly Black county, 10 minutes outside of DC. And my teachers were Black. I had so many Black educators. The businesses that I went to, I knew so many Black business owners. You know, my orthodontist was Black. Everyone I had so many amazing mentors and so many people to look up to who were successful and who were thriving, who were Black. And I don't think I realized until I was older how important that was, and how everyone doesn't have that, and how also my parents are very successful business owners. They're also pastors. They've been pastors for 10 years. They own a healthcare staffing agency that has been, I think they just had their 23-year business anniversary. They've been in business for a very, very long time. And just from seeing my mom be successful because she went to Howard, and using all of the different people who came to work in her company were people who she went to school with at Howard. And I really just saw Black excellence firsthand, and I never had to think that I wasn't enough because of the color of my skin, because I got to see it all of the time, which was so amazing. So again, the HBCU impact isn't just from going there. You know, it really extends past so many things. It's affected me. And like I said, I've never been to a HBCU, but my family has, and I wouldn't be alive right now if it wasn't for that HBCU, you know? So it's definitely been really, really inspiring. And also, for example, because of that, and because they went to Howard, you know, they were very big on teaching me Black history, because not schools are not always going to do that. So when we would come home from school, every Martin Luther King Day, we would go to the Blacks and Wax Museum in Baltimore, and we would watch. I've seen Roots so many times, so many more times than I can count. They made us read all of these Black books, and so that we really knew about our history, and so that we were strong and rooted in who we were. So once I got older, that was a strong foundation that was built for me. And also, as I spoke earlier about how when I was in high school, I was my school's performing arts prefect. I went to Annapolis Area Christian School, which is in Annapolis, Maryland. I went to Bowie High School, And then I went to Annapolis Area Christian School, which is in Annapolis, Maryland. It was a predominantly white high school. I loved the school. It was great, great people, great teachers. The educators were amazing. But I was there around the time of the Baltimore riots, and with the Freddie Gray murders. And my school was probably about only 30 minutes away from Baltimore. So there was a lot of conversations around that. But not all of the, most of the conversation was not constructive. I heard a lot of things going around, a lot of people. And as I was talking to some of my classmates, I realized I said something about the NAACP, and they did not know what the NAACP was. They had never heard of it. And I realized, okay, we can't have a real conversation about race relations in our country, let alone our school, if we don't know the basic things about our history. And so that is why I decided to start a Black History Month program. It was a big concert where all of the school choirs performed. They sang Negro spirituals and different gospel songs, and we had churches from around in the area come and perform. We had step teams, different high schools, African Dance Association dance teams come in, and that entire month we had seminars at lunch highlighting different Black figures, and it's something that the school has continued to do every year since. I went back the next year. Do I have it? Oh, I don't have it in here. There's a painting. They turned it also into like an art gallery. So a lot of the students of color got to sell their art pieces, and it was just amazing. And ever since, I've seen how it has grown at the school so much, and how we started to actually have constructive conversations about race in our country, and about, for all of the Black students at my school. And that was just something that was really, really inspiring. And it's something that I got because, again, of my parents who went to that HBCU and who instilled in me the importance of knowing your history, knowing Black history. And I just wanted to share that with the world and with my school and my community. So yeah, I turned my white private school into a little HBCU for a month. And it was great.
I love that. And I especially really thought it was interesting how you highlighted that your parents taught you a lot of the stuff that you didn't learn at school. And I remember this amazing quote, I forgot who it was by, but it talked about how the real knowledge that you learn comes from home. And I most definitely agree about that, especially since I know in school I only learned so much. My family had to really take out the time and teach me what, like values and morals. So I love how you were able to highlight that, because I think that is true. My next question for you is, who is an African-American queen that has really impacted your journey, or maybe a queen that you've always looked up to?
There's so many, so now I have to think about which one I'm going to choose. I would have to say Abina Akba, who was Miss Grand International 2020, and she was Miss Grand USA 2020. So not a part of the USA or universe system, but she was really inspiring, and she was one of the first people who I saw who during her reign openly did a bunch of different hairstyles. She didn't force herself in that box, and she really just celebrated herself and her skin and her culture. And I know she was Ghanaian, and going to the Miss Grand International competition, she really combined her culture as an African American, and also as a Ghanaian, as well as what she would do with her hair and the things that she would speak out about. It was really just amazing to see and to witness. And that was also she was the first Black queen to win Miss Grand International, and she was the first representative from USA to win Miss Grand International. And I've always been so inspired by her, because that was her fourth international competition, and I think it was the first one that she placed at, because I believe she competed at Miss World and Miss Earth before, and she didn't place, and then she went to Miss Grand and she won it all, and she was appointed the USA title as well. So it was really inspiring to see how she carried herself throughout the entire year, because also I know she encountered so much. She encountered a lot of hate and racism just based off of her win. And she was also a dark-skinned queen who celebrated her skin, and it was just amazing to see.
I love that. So right now we are going to do another one of our HBCU-ish games. This is this or that. I'm going to give you two options, and you're going to pick which one is your favorite, but you have to explain why. Are you ready? Okay, let's get started. Okay, this or that.
Fenty.
NARS.
Easy.
Or Fenty.
Because I love Rihanna, and I love everything that she does, and I will be front row and center for anything that she does. Rihanna was on my Miss USA paperwork. When they ask who your favorite celebrity is in any pageant, my answer will always be Rihanna, Robin, Fenty. I am obsessed because I see a lot of myself in her. She's someone who because she's a very multifaceted, a lot of different things. She is a singer, a performer, a businesswoman, a makeup artist, fashion icon, and she used her platform in all of those areas to up women of all backgrounds, not just Black women, and queer and plus size women. Like, she really used her platform to break down barriers. You know, when we talk about the Victoria's Secret fashion. I love me some Victoria's Secrets. I love the Victoria's Secret fashion show, but nothing tops Fenty. Nothing tops Fenty. I could go on and on about.
Don't worry, Faith. After this, we will talk about our love of Rihanna and Fenty.
Yeah,
I do love both.
Both
are phenomenal. NARS is really good as well. Both amazing. And since you picked Fenty, and I personally, one of the Fenty products I wear a lot from Fenty is lip gloss. Do you have a favorite lip gloss shade? Or
I don't know, but I love it. I bought one and I lost it recently, and then I bought a new one, and it was the same color. Fenty too. I like the gloss, but the color just isn't for me. And I thought it was the same as the other one, and it wasn't. So it's like a clear shimmer. It's like a clearish gold. I can't, but I love it.
I might have it. I'm really bad at the names. So I'll just be like that color. So I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You said we'll have this conversation afterwards. I think I know what gloss you're talking about. Okay. Destiny's Child or the Supremes?
The Supremes. Love Destiny's Child, of course. I love Destiny's Child. But they're the blueprint. They are and always will be the blueprint. Yeah.
This is not a part of this or that. This is a question that I just wanted to ask you. Do you have a favorite Black-owned business that you go to 24/7?
Well, my favorite Black-owned business would have to be my parents' company, etc. They own a healthcare staffing company in DMV, and they hire nurses, healthcare professionals for schools. They had a big contract with the CDC over COVID. I worked there for a while as a healthcare recruiter, and it was so great because we got to, and in a time in COVID when everyone was so scared and not knowing what to do, but everyone just wanted to help. We got to hire contact tracers for the state of New Jersey and a lot in Maryland and the DMV as well. So it was really inspiring to see that and to see how they grow as Black business owners. But there's so many other Black businesses. What can I say? I love me a Telfar bag if we're talking, you know. What else? My esthetician, my esthetician sponsor for DC USA. Her name is Chastity. Sugar Pop Aesthetics has been amazing. I got my eyebrows microbladed right before the competition. I did not put anything on my brows today. And look at this. They are flawless, and I love that. And that's another thing that I love about the DC USA organization is, like I said, there's so many great Black support, and a lot of our actors are Black, and our director is a Black woman. So it's all one big Black-owned business.
Fantastic. Next one. Black Panther or Wakanda Forever?
I love Wakanda Forever, and I'm a comic book nerd. You could ask me anything. I have seen every Marvel, if there is a show or a movie about superheroes, I can guarantee you I've probably watched it. So I have a lot of opinions about this, but Chadwick is just, he always holds a special place in my heart. And just the story that was told from him and Michael B. Jordan, I think is something that you don't see a lot. And that the impact that movie had just can't be recreated. I will say, for what they did to honor him in Wakanda Forever was great. And I love that. And I love Shuri and all of the Black women in the movie who are highlighted. That is why, if anything, I'm a little tempted to say Wakanda Forever because of that. But again, just like I said about the Supreme, Black Panther was the blueprint. So, and I do think it was a better movie than Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever wasn't bad. But yeah, Chadwick, I mean, that really shook me. That his passing really, really shook me. But the character that he played, it will last forever. That's a great impact, and I'm just glad that we got to experience it.
Yes. I think, was I in high school? No, I might have been in middle school when Black Panther came. I think I was in middle school.
I believe
I was in the 7th grade for that long. And
was it 2017 or 2018?
Okay, yeah, I was in this.
Yeah.
I think it might have been 2017, if I'm mistaken. And you talked about the impact. I remember the impact that it had. It was just one of those movies where it was like, I'm going to go see it 25 times. I'm not scared that I'm going to go see it 25 times, and you're not going to judge me because it's that good. So both movies are incredible. I got to see both movies. And so good. So good. So my last, this or that, it's going to be pretty hard for you. I know it is. Break My Soul or Girls Run the World. Both 2 songs by Beyonce. Both smash hits. Which one are you going to pick?
Break My Soul. I love Girls Run the World. I love that song for the message, but I feel like I didn't really listen. I would never play that song just to play it. You know, like when I'm with my girlfriends, you know, if I'm at a pageant and I turn it on, it's a vibe. I love it. But I don't really like listen to it when I'm in the car. But Break My Soul, anytime somebody turns it on, release your mind, release your soul, release the stress. Forget, I'll start acting a fool. So definitely Break My Soul. I love that song so much. And the entire Renaissance album was just top tier.
Fantastic. And since we're talking about the Renaissance album, did you get your tickets?
I would love to, but after I say my bank account is already hurting. That's all I'm going to say. As I'm going to say today, we are in a bank account recovery. And I know that B charge your arm and a leg as she should. But unfortunately, yes, I might not be in the audience for it.
Someone asked me, I think it was a few days ago, they were like, you get tickets. I said, well, I tried to, because I think you had to pre-order the tickets. And I was like, I found out that you had to pre-order them the day that they went on sale. And I was like, it's okay. I'm going to gladly watch Beyonce on YouTube.
I party with my friends. Oh,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for sure. For sure. Yeah. So that was all for this or that. I have maybe like 2 or 3 more questions for you left. If you guys have any more questions for Faith, please comment down below. Please ask her. She is, I mean, the epitome of inspiration, kindness, and I'm so happy that I'm talking to you. I'm so thankful that you were also a judge of mine, and for me, it's such a full circle experience because I would have never thought in a million years that you were interviewing me and not my
Yes,
you.
and as you
It's,
said,
I mean,
you are
life.
so many amazing things ahead of you. And when you won, I was like, yes, because as a judge, you don't know who's going to win. You put in your scores and you just hope. But everything from your stuff, that green gown, it fits you perfectly. You look great. Your smile radiated across the room, and the ponytail was chef's kiss.
Thank you, Faith. I really, really appreciate it. Honestly, thank you so much for your kindness. You are just a ball of energy and happiness. And you can see that whether it's through your social media or even just speaking to you. So, 2 or 3 more questions left, guys. And then you guys are gonna have to ask Faith some questions. And if you don't ask it now, you guys can DM her or comment down below and ask her something because she is phenomenal. So, you are a theater manager, performer, makeup artist, pageant queen, college graduate. You have accomplished so much at such a young age. What is next for you? What are your future endeavors? Are we going to see you back on the pageant stage?
Oh,
What is
so
next
many
for you,
things.
babe?
Also trying to figure out myself. But like I said, I am going to be releasing music soon. This year, I had decided I really want to focus on my career as a singer and as a recording artist. I just recorded my first single. I was in a studio. It's great. It is great, and I'm very excited to release it. So I am going to start pursuing that, which I'm really excited about, and I'll let all of you guys know. You'll definitely see on my social media. I'll be blowing it up when I finally drop it. And I also recently just got a job at the Kennedy Center, working for their international programming department for one of their upcoming festivals. I just got the job last week, so I'm still not sure what I'm going to be doing, and I haven't started yet. I'm going to be starting this upcoming week, which I'm very, very excited about. I wish I had more details to share about what exactly I'll be doing, but I don't know. But as soon as I do know, I will let you know. But yes, I'll be working in international programming when they oversee all of the international performers and shows that come into the Kennedy Center. And they are the ones who also decide what gets to come in. And I believe the festival that they're planning is called the River Run Festival. And it's about how it's so interesting how the world's rivers and waterways have brought us art, because as you know, a lot of major cities are built on rivers, and so many musical artists that get start around that, from New Orleans, or even if we talk about New York, being off the Hudson, and all around the world, the way that water has brought music together and all art together, which I'm really, really excited to start working on and work with. So that is one thing that I will be starting within the next few weeks. I have my music coming out, and will you see me on another stage? Who knows? I don't know. As of now, I think the answer is going to be no, but I never say never. I never know where the world, where life is going to take me. Again, like I told you, a year ago, I wasn't planning on competing for DC USA. I was going to tell you I'm going to take a year off. And then right before the pageant, I said, oops, never mind. So I always keep myself on my toes. So you might see me in another pageant. You might not, but I'll always be around.
Awesome. Well, if you do decide to compete, I will definitely come and support. And if you do decide to come back on that stage, I would be so excited to see you compete again. But you've already left an amazing legacy. So whether or not you decide to compete, I know that you are going to continue to stay being amazing like you are. My last and final question. You're an actress. You've talked a little bit about your acting experience. Do you have a inspiration, someone that maybe inspired you to become an actress? And can you also talk about maybe your favorite play or musical that you've been a part of?
That is a great question. Acting wise, as an actress, my biggest inspiration, I would probably say, since I'm a theater girl, Patina Miller. I love Patina Miller. She was in Hair on the Hair revival of Broadway. She was in the recent revival of Pippin, and she also she was the star of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. She was the one raising Kanan, and that was my first job out of college, working in casting, background casting, for Power Book 3, and the first lead that I ever got in a musical was in Hair, and I was the role that she played when she was on Broadway. And that same year, I got to do a master class with her at Strathmore. I got to sing Colored Woman from Memphis. I sang that for her, and I got to meet her, I take pictures with her, and train under her, and it was just so amazing. And I feel like just throughout my life journey, she's always just kind of been there in the background. And she just really inspires me, as a Black woman, as an actor, as a performer, as a singer. I mean, she's the definition of a triple threat. I love her. I'm obsessed with Patina Miller. And I don't remember the second part of your question.
I also love Patina Miller. She's fantastic. My second part of my
You asked
question.
if someone I look to.
Did I ask your favorite musical?
Yeah, a musical.
No, that was
yeah. My favorite musical is Lemon. I love it. It will always have a special place in my heart. And yeah, because it's all about sacrifice and sacrificing things for the one that you love, which I think is just a great mentality to have. And every time I watch it, it makes me cry, and it has beautiful music.
Love it. Faith Porter, everyone. Faith, it's been such an honor to be able to speak to you, like I said before, and you're just a definition of what I picture a queen to be and what I truly want a queen to be on the inside. You honestly radiate kindness and happiness, and I cannot wait to see all of the amazing things that you continue to do. Maybe we'll start a movie together. I mean, life is unpredictable. So
when I was, have you seen High School Musical, the TV show?
I have. I've seen
season 2. I haven't really watched it, but here at Pace, I was in Tonal Recall with Larry Sapp, who is Big Red. Look, he has red hair in High School Musical, the musical. He's one of the main cast. He's like freckles. He has red hair. He always tap dances. I don't know if you remember last time but he was at FTV. We went to school together, and we were, and now I'm at USA, and he is star. I never know, Yeah.
Wow, that is.
People I know of at Pace, who I went to school with, have won Tonys, have won Emmys, have Broadway, or major TV shows. So I know this is the limit for you.
Yeah.
Because you are amazing. Not only are you gorgeous, but talented, more that you're going to do in pageantry, but inside of pageantry, have so much that you have to offer. And I'm so excited to see what you do next. Please posted, keep me around. I will always be there rooting for you.
Oh, thank you so much, Faith. Like I said before, it was just such a blessing to be able to speak to you. And thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to come on my Instagram Live series. Thank you to everyone that joined, that came to listen to Faith and hear her empowering journey. And yeah, this was so fantastic. Thank you so much again, Faith. Miss District of Columbia, USA, Faith Porter. Thank you so much for joining, guys, and I will be talking to you very soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys.